Okay, and we are back. I hope you enjoyed listening to the story, A Difficult Decision. And as you listened, I hope you were paying close attention to the main characters and what their point of view was about some of the situations they found themselves in. We are going to take a look at just the first page of A Difficult Decision to help us fill out this chart on page 206. I will fill out the first row with you, and the second row you will work on your own. Let's get started. Here is a copy of page 1. I am going to focus in on one of the paragraphs, this one right here. So I will zoom in and make this bigger for you so you can follow along with me. Paul and I raced to the top of the tower. I win! I'm the champion! I shouted. Look, Paul, someone left the newest game master here. It's mine now. Okay, so my first step is to figure out the character. Which character am I going to see what their point of view is first? Well, I notice in this paragraph that there's the word I over and over again. So who is I in this paragraph? Which character is telling this story? I can see it says Paul and I race to the top of the tower. I win. I'm the champion. So who's speaking, second graders? Is it Paul? No, because it says Paul and I. So who is the I? Do you remember that character's name? That's right. It's Wyatt. So I'm going to fill in my first row about the character Wyatt. I'm going to figure out what is his point of view about the event. Now, on the next slide, I'm going to highlight some of the words he says. So we are able to figure out their point of view by thinking about their words or actions. So I'm going to focus in on some dialogue, the words that Wyatt says. You can see I have underlined in pink where Wyatt says, "It's mine now." What is he talking about, second graders? What does he think is his now? What does he want to keep? That's right. Like the Game Master, similar to like a Game Boy or a handheld gaming device he found on the playground. He is saying it is his now. So that's my clue. He is saying that. That's giving me insight about how he feels or his point of view about this event in the story. So our clue is, it's mine now. And second graders, I want you to practice rewriting or recording this clue exactly as you see it on the screen. I copied it exactly from the text, including the quotation marks to show that he was speaking, and an exclamation point, because that shows the emotion behind his point of view. He really thinks that he can keep it now, kind of like finders keepers. So as you write that down, you can press pause if you need to, and press play when you're ready. All right. So now I have to think about, what does this tell me about Wyatt? What is his point of view? They find a game master at the playground. And what does Wyatt believe? What is his point of view about this event? Yes, Wyatt thinks he should keep the game he found. He thinks that that's okay. That is his point of view. So again, writing this point of view in a complete sentence with a capital letter to start and a period at the end. Wyatt thinks he should keep the game he found. Second graders, do you agree? Would you have done the same thing or had the same point of view as Wyatt if you found a video game or a game master at the park? Okay. For the next row, we are going to choose another character to figure out what their point of view is. Which character do you think we're going to choose, second graders? That's right. We're going to look at Paul now. So Paul is the friend that is with Wyatt when they find the game master. And we're going to focus in on this paragraph. So let's zoom in. I will reread it. And as I read, I want you to think about which sentence or words should we include as a clue to how Paul feels about the situation. You are going to complete this section on your own. So I will read it out loud to you and be thinking about how you would fill in the rest of your chart. Paul raised his eyebrows and looked thoughtful. Wyatt, you cannot keep that game master, he said. You have a responsibility to return it. It is your duty. Okay, so it sounds like Paul thinks a little differently or has a different point of view than Wyatt. I can see that I know Paul is the character who is talking because the author tells us Paul raised his eyebrows and we know he's talking to Wyatt. So you're going to fill in the rest of your chart. What clue or what words do you hear Paul saying that tell you how he feels? All right. If you need to go back and listen to me reread that paragraph, you can, or pause the video on that slide so you can read it on your own. But tell me how Paul feels about finding the game master on the playground. Once you have completed page 206, you will take a picture of it and put it in the green box on the second to last slide. If your camera is not working, you can type your answers into the graphic organizer on the last slide of this presentation. And then remember to click submit when you have finished so I can check off your work. All right, as you read your own stories this week, be thinking about who are the characters and how do they feel? What are the clues in my book that tell me how they feel? Always be thinking about what is the character and what is their point of view. I hope you enjoyed reading this story and completing our graphic organizer today, second graders. See you soon.